like to thank Bob Murphy and the Tea Party Patriots for this opportunity. This flag was a gift for my son. My son had this in his cockpit when he was doing a refueling mission of the stealth bombers over Afghanistan. Next slide here. Back in 2009, Yolanda's family was in California. We had the opportunity to go to the first Tea Party rally in the United States, hosted by Neil Cavuto. We had a great time there. Yolanda's in the back. I'm sure she'll tell you more about it if you're interested. After 24 years in the United States Air Force, our son has retired, and this is his family now. He's flying for American Airlines, and they live in Cocoa Beach, Florida. This is our daughter, Tanya. My wife, Yolanda, was a registered nurse for 25 years at Lapeer Hospital. Our daughter went one step beyond her mother. She has a master's degree. She's a nurse practitioner. When people ask me what my favorite hobby is, I say grandkids, emphatically. This is Tanya's husband. It says on the plane there, Lieutenant Colonel Brooks, but he was promoted last year. He's now a full-bird colonel. He just got back today from a 3-month deployment in Guam. We're very proud of him. This is your money. I have a 4-year college degree in police administration, Michigan State. I'm an attorney, and I have 31 years of experience. Last year, I returned to you $279,000. The county's budget is about $17.1 million. My budget is $7.1 million of that, a lion's share. But I'm happy to say that my 31 years of sheriff, I have never exceeded my budget or squandered your money. In my opinion, it's more economically efficient to prevent crime rather than respond to it. We have an excellent staff of deputies. They're dedicated, they're loyal, they're good investigators. But it's my job as sheriff to use my innovation, use my creativity, which is a gift from God, to devise programs that prevent this. Let's hope you never come home from work or church and find this at your house. One of my heroes is General George Patton. General Patton said, "One look is worth 1,000 reports." My number one job is to listen to people. Listen what their concerns are. Listen what their fears are. Listen what their apprehensions are. And then I use that creativity and innovation that God gave me. When I was first elected sheriff back in 1980, there were several abductions and murders of children in Oakland County. Today, that they're unsolved. Responding to that, I devised a program called Safetyville, which still exists, where we train all first graders not to ghost strangers, good touch, bad touch, and many other programs to keep our children safe. I understand that the County Board of Commissioners can't give me the tools that I need to fully equip all my deputies. When we needed automatic external defibrillators for heart attack victims, I went to the banks. The banks bought one AED for every patrol car. When we needed to do some accident reconstruction, take the black box from the vehicle, use some lasers, and do a recreation of the accident scene, State Farm Insurance purchased that device, which is about $10,000. In my opinion, in Lapeer County, the most vulnerable citizens are the seniors. I saw a lot of crime reports coming across my desk, and I guess there's no picture of that one. And so I devised a 4-week program where one was a tour of the jail, one was a tour of the 911. Judge Oloka came in, some detectives came in, I talked about scams. But the most important factor was that they met their township deputy. They had confidence in him. They knew if they were victimized, they wouldn't be embarrassed to come forward and report that crime. And then every year we had a reunion of these seniors. Okay. Staffing levels. We've had tremendous cuts in Lapeer County. In Marathon Township, we used to have 3 deputies. Now we only have 1 deputy. This little village of Otter Lake suffered numerous burglaries. So I got the citizens together in the village for 3 weekends, and I trained them how to be trained observers. Not to make arrests, but to be alert. I gave everyone in the village a decal to put on their car. That showed that they belonged in the village, they were a resident. These folks here, Citizen on Patrol volunteers, I gave them a different color decal. They made a schedule, and they patrolled the village. And I don't think since we started this program, they've had a burglary in the village of Otter Lake. Very successful program. Again, proud of my innovation, proud of the cooperation. Burglaries are a big deal in Lapeer County. We had a gang of, or husband and wife team that were doing, or heroin addicts. They had 60 burglaries in 3 counties, Oakland, Genesee, Lapeer County. What we do with the virtual neighborhood watch is we give instantaneous alerts to that neighborhood of a suspect vehicle or a prowler at a bus stop, things like that. In this case I'm talking about the 60 burglaries, they had a white Honda with a torn spare tire rim. And based on that email, we're able to make an arrest and take them off the street. Now, if you look here, you'll see a combination of very dedicated, hardworking deputies who arrest and investigate, and then myself, using my creativity to prevent crime, because if crime is prevented, it is more cost effective, and I can return those dollars back to you so you can use them for something else. This here is an example of a new wall that I'm working on with Kevin Daly. This is in Marathon Township where a home was burglarized, and then it was set on fire. It's a professional burglar. We had a safe stolen, we had jewelry stolen, we had money stolen. A few miles away, we found a safe. Near the safe, we found a ski cap. We did a DNA swab of the inside of the ski cap, and then searched the criminal history file called CODIS. When you're found, we take a swab of your cheek. In that library, we came up with this suspect. Well, we ran his name through the computer system to participate with pawn shops, and we found that 3 counties away, in Owasso, the jewelry had been pawned by this individual. Positively identified, rock solid case, he's back in prison. Now you might ask me, well, why was his name in the CODIS system? Well, he was released from murder, back on the street. But anyhow, another idea I had was, let's make it a law that if you're a pawn dealer, all the transactions you make must be listed on the internet so they can be searched. In the city of Flint, there are 20 pawn shops. If you were to go over there, it'd be impossible to go through 3x5 index cards to find your property. Marie Warren. Very brutal murder. We had the bed sheet she was murdered on, blood soaked. State police were behind in the DNA analysis. Being in office 31 years, I had some contacts with some agencies in Detroit. I said, if you can provide me some overtime money to solve this case, I'll see if the state police work Saturday and Sunday to do an analysis of this bed sheet, square inch by square inch by square inch. I called up Colonel Mike Thomas, in charge of all the state police labs. He said, sure, Sheriff, if you can get me the money, we'll work overtime. They did that, and as a result of that, we found DNA samples on the sheet she was murdered on to the suspect who now was arrested and awaiting trial. That's an example of my 31 years using resources that I know and have available. This here is the Emily City Land Steel Building up in the northeastern part of the county. We need more patrol. I took the new state police commander, Gary Parsons there, and him and John Santos and I looked at 2 vacant office buildings in the Land Steel Building and said, hey, why can't we have a state police detachment at the Land Steel Building? John Santos says, yes, I'm all for it. And Lieutenant Parsons is working diligently to make it a factor. I am the president of the Regional Law Enforcement Training Center. It involves 3 counties, 57 police departments, 853 police officers, and we provide basic training as well as advanced training. I'll give you an example of some of the advanced training. You've all heard of Kalanquin, you've heard of Virginia Tech. This is what's called the active shooter response. You'll see in this slide we have 2 sheriff's deputies, 3 township officers. They're in what's called a stack. They're ready to make dynamic entry. Once they make dynamic entry, they move in and neutralize the threat to protect your children. I've got one job, to keep you and your family safe. Only one job, 31 years of experience. If you look at cost and compare the fact that I don't receive health care from you, the taxpayer, I don't receive a pension match from you, the taxpayer, over a 4-year period, I'm a better bargain. I save you $66,000. As far as education and training, I mentioned I have a 4-year college degree, National Institute of Corrections, FBI Institute, certified police officer. My only business is protecting you. So the bottom line is, it's good business to keep Sheriff Kalanquin. Thank you for your time.